The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. warns anew rice hoarders and price manipulators in the country amid the reported price increase of rice in the market.
The National Capital Region Police Office orders the relief of Navotas City Chief of Police Colonel Alan Umipig over the fatal mistaken identity shooting incident.
Several senators urge the economic managers to make policy changes in response to the continuous maritime incursions of China in the West Philippine Sea.
And find out how the United States government respond to North Korea's confirmation of the presence of U.S. Army Private Travis King within its borders.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Wednesday, the 16th of August, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am William Theo.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harding Delgado.
First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. warned anew rice hoarders and manipulators in the country amid the reported price increase in the market. Nel Maribohok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. tasked the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Trade and Industry to closely monitor the rice prices in the local markets as he ensured that rice supply is sufficient. According to Presidential Communications Office, the President tasked the two agencies to run after rice hoarders and price manipulators who take advantage of the lean months before the harvest season amid the reported increase of prices of rice in the market. Wilson Santiago, a rice seller in Trabaho Market in Sampaloc, Manila City, said the price of country's staple food is indeed increasing. He said they also experiencing shortage of supply of rice.
Sa ngayon po, napakataas ng presyo. 4 na beses na pong tumaas. Sa supply po, nauubos yung supply. May time na o-order ka ngayon, may darating. Pagdating ng ikatlong araw, o-order ka uli, walang darating.
The DA has reported that retailers are selling rice at different price points, with some selling rice at 38 to 40 pesos per kilo as the cheapest, while some are selling their cheapest variety at 50 pesos per kilo. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Former Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT Secretary Eliseo Rio Jr. still urges the Commission on Elections or COMELEC to furnish them the alleged real transmission logs in the 2022 national and local elections. Dante Amento tells us why.
To erase continued doubts over the integrity of the May 9, 2022 national and local elections, the group of former Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT Secretary Eliseo Rio asked the Commission on Elections or COMELEC for the alleged real transmission logs of the election results. Rio said they are questioning how the transmission was very fast in the first hour after the voting was closed, but in the succeeding hour it slowed down.
7:19 up to 8 o'clock nakapag-transmit ng 39,000. Pero sa second hour, from 8 to 9 p.m., ay bigla na lang bumagsak yung transmission to just mga around 24,000. Paano makapagpabilis sa first hour? Kasi and then the second hour biglang babagsak, no?
Bumaba.
May nangyari ba sa internet natin or wala naman mga ganyang reports, no? So yun ang nagpataka and therefore humingi kami ng mga logs, no? Para lang mapakita.
2 months after the elections, Rio and retired Colonel Leonardo Odonio asked the transmission logs from COMELEC. March of this year, the COMELEC published the transmission logs in their website and furnished a copy to Odonio. But Rio said it was not a transmission log.
Pero yung sinuri namin, hindi transmission logs to, kundi reception logs, no? Na tanggap ng kanilang mga transparency server.
Meanwhile, COMELEC Chairman George Erwin Garcia responded there is an existing case in the Supreme Court over the issue, and it seems they have a different interpretation on transmission logs with Rios Group. It is allegedly prudent to wait for the court's decision to clarify what was being asked by them. Garcia further said they furnished everything, hence they have nothing left to do. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, is planning to conduct early voting hours in the 2023 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, or BSKE. Chairman George Erwin Garcia said it would be piloted in Muntinlupa City and Naga City from 5 a.m. until 7 o'clock in the morning. Early voting hours will be particularly for vulnerable sectors, pregnant women, senior citizens, persons with disabilities or PWD, among others.
Lalo na yung mga nakatatanda, total sila naman yung maagang gumising. 5 to 7, so therefore yung puwersa natin, yung ating pulis na 50 meters doon sa lugar ay naando na ng at least mga alas 4 ng umaga man lang. Dahil yung mga guru dyan ay naando na ng alas 3 pa lang ng madaling araw.
A lawmaker wants the Department of Environment and Natural Resources to file charges against officers who signed the environmental compliance certificate of the suspended Manila Bay reclamation projects. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, faced the panel of the House Committee on Appropriations for their deliberation of their proposed budget for 2024. During the interpellation of lawmakers, DENR Secretary Antonia Yulo Loizaga said they are investigating the ECC and it is ready to impose possible sanction.
If there were misdeeds, if there were any kind of infraction in terms of the rules, we will certainly be able to look into possible sanctions. However, at this point, our emphasis is really on reviewing the ECC's.
Meanwhile, Gabriela Party List Representative Arlene Brosas questioned the basis of the DENR to suspend the Manila Bay reclamation projects as she received reports that the reclamation in some areas of Cavite are still ongoing.
Kasi Mr. Chair, nakakabalita pa rin tayo ng mga ulat na sa reclamation, meron pa rin mga activities na nangyayari sa Cavite. Katulad ng Rosario, Noveleta, Tanza, Naik, no? Kaya ang tanong po natin at saka projects in Manila Bay, may order ba and clear guidelines na?
DENR said it only reacted upon the verbal instruction of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.
We have based it on the verbal declaration of the President on the need to suspend in order to assess the impact of all these projects.
While the DENR is still investigating the ECC, it will conduct a cumulative impact assessment of Manila Bay reclamation projects, whether it should continue or come to an end.
The scientific team that will do the cumulative impact assessment is still being formed po, as I had released to the public last week. And so the directions that will be taken will be determined by the results of their scientific work.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, the dangerously out-of-control fire swept through Lahaina without warning last Tuesday, killing 101 residents, and an estimated 1,000 people remain unaccounted. Hundreds of families have begun the desperate task of searching for pets left behind by the chaos. According to Maui Humane Society Katie Shannon, residents filed 370 lost reports with estimated 3,000 pets were missing, with only hope of finding them alive and safe. Thousands of Hawaiian residents responded by offering help, giving financial assistance and treating thousands of animals for smoke inhalation and burn injuries. Additionally, a fundraiser to assist the Maui Humane Society in hopes of finding missing pets had just raised $500,000 on Monday afternoon. Meanwhile, Governor Josh Brown warned that the loss of life will significantly rise as the specialist search and rescue units continues to go door to door in hopes of finding survivors. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Elsie. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The remains of Jero Jemboy Baltazar, the 17-year-old victim of the fatal mistaken identity shooting in Navotas City last August 2, were buried this afternoon in Caloocan City. Hundreds of people sympathized and shared their grief with Jemboy's family as they bid him farewell. Friends, relatives, and loved ones are wearing white shirts with the words "Justice for Jemboy" written on them. Jemboy's mother, Rhoda Baltazar, is calling for justice and hopes that the police officers involved in her son's killing will admit their guilt in the crime. Last night, Rhoda and the Baltazar family faced the accused police officers who were detained at the Navotas police station. She said the police officers are asking for forgiveness, but they refuse to admit their crime.
The National Capital Region Police Office ordered the relief of Navotas City Chief of Police Colonel Alan Umipig. This after the investigations found out that he ordered the exclusion of 11 policemen on those who will be charged over the mistaken identity case which resulted to the death of 17-year-old Jero Jemboy Baltazar on August 2nd. The relief of Colonel Umipig was recommended by the Internal Affairs Service. NCRPO Director Police Brigadier General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. said the IAS recommendation already reached his office and it is the same as the recommendation of the District Director of Northern Police District.
Nag-submit siya ng kanyang investigation report yesterday, and so I acted on it. Perusal of these records, I concurred with their conclusion as well as approved their recommendation. And one of the recommendation is the relief of the Chief of Police.
Nartates also said he was convinced that the policemen involved in the operation violated the police operational procedures, and the Chief of Police failed to supervise the conduct of police operation and corresponding investigation. Aside from Umipig, 22 other Navotas police personnel were also relieved from their post.
School service may charge the price to parents if the oil price will keep increasing, according to a concerned group. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
The nagkakaisang alyansa ng School Service sa Pilipinas or NASAP reports that the continuous increase of oil price may affect the charges of school service in the country.
Hanggat hindi tumutuntong ng 70, hindi kami aangat. Siyempre, intindihin naman natin yung magulang. Dagdag sakit pa rin sa gobyerno yan pagka kami humingi pa ng dagdag. Sabi ko naman, kaya naman eh.
The 3,000 price for school service may increase to 3,500 to 4,000 pesos if the oil price will keep surging. NASA President said that they experienced shortage of school service units caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Kailangan namin talaga magdagdag ng mga unit. Hindi kami po pwedeng tama na eh. Kasi may committed kami sa school na kami ang bahala mag-service sa kanilang mga estudyante.
Meanwhile, parent and student like Anna and Kay stated the importance of school service, especially this upcoming opening of classes.
Parang nakakasad din. Pero pag iintindihin mo naman po sila na mga nag-school service, ma'am, siyempre meron din po silang pangangailangan din, lalo na dun sa sasakyan po nila, pare-pares na lang po kami magkaintindihan.
First of all, I feel very safe and hindi ko na po pinoproblema ang pagko-commute po kasi meron na po akong service. Mas nakakagawa po ako ng assignment kasi mas ano po siya sa time, mas nakakasave po siya ng time.
Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Meanwhile, the 50 beneficiaries of the first batch for the government's food stamp program in the National Capital Region received their second food credit today. The government's food stamp program is designed to provide assistance in the form of digital stamps worth 3,000 pesos food credits to poor families and vulnerable sectors. Gladys Tawabi will tell us why.
The 50 beneficiaries of the first batch for the said project in Metro Manila already received their second food credit today, August 15. Beneficiaries like Tatay Julito has consumed his food credits today and bought essential and nutritious foods from the Kadiwa store in Tondo, Manila.
Malaking tulong po. Dati po kami, kumakain lang po ako ng isang araw, isang beses. Ngayon, pinagkakasya lang po namin kinikita namin. Yung kinikita ko, minsan, ang kinikita ko po, isang araw, lang, 250.
With the guide released by the Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD, the said food credit is being divided for every food group. 1,500 pesos for food rich in carbohydrates, 900 pesos for proteins and fats, and 600 pesos for fruits and vegetables. In this way, families is being taught in decision-making of buying food with enough nutrition needed by the body. Meanwhile, beneficiaries joined the nutrition education program conducted earlier by the DSWD.
Ngayon nakikita nyo po kasama na yung ating nutrition education program na isang crucial component ng food stamp program kasi tuturuan natin sila paano magluto ng masarap, mura at saka masustansyang pagkain.
This will be followed by a job skill training and a job fair.
Another component or requirement is yung job skills, no? So this month, yung mga mga beneficiaries will undergo job skills training po ng TESDA. In the next month, on their third month, sa DOLE naman sila magre-register sa job fair para subukang makahanap ng trabaho po, no, sa job fair after nung training nila sa TESDA. So dalawa po yung requirements natin, paalala natin. Unang-una yung nutrition education and then the number 2 yung job skills training. Ngayon may requirements po yan, kailangan uma-attend sila niyan regularly para magpatuloy yung grant nila. Kasi pag nag-miss sila ng 2 beses, masususpend po yung issuance ng grant sa kanila.
Gladys Tawabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Agriculture will implement a rice production strategy that is typically taught to other countries. This idea was mentioned by Agriculture Undersecretary Leocadio Sebastian during the rice supply and price briefing before the House Committee on Agriculture and Food earlier today, August 16. This involves shifting the main crop from the wet season to the dry season. Sebastian explained that longer exposure to sunlight is favorable for rice production. The official noted that countries like Vietnam, Thailand and Bangladesh have learned this technique from the Philippines. It has been proven to increase local production, enabling these countries to export rice. Sebastian added that they simply need to improve irrigation to sustain the necessary volume of water during the dry season.
Nagtataka ako, Mr. Chair, because we have taught our neighbors and yet we are not practicing it here in our country.
Development. North Korea has publicly confirmed the presence of United States Army Private Travis King within its borders. This acknowledgement sheds light on King's controversial crossing from South Korea into North Korea and the circumstances surrounding his decision to seek refuge in the country. Joselito Liquido will tell us the details live. Yes, good evening, Joselito.
Good evening, Elsie. North Korea on Wednesday, August 16, publicly acknowledged that U.S. Army Private Travis King crossed into its territory. According to the Korean Central News Agency, or KCNA, King expressed his desire to seek refuge in North Korea or another country. He reportedly admitted entering North Korea due to his discontent with mistreatment and racial discrimination within the U.S. Army. King crossed from South Korea into North Korea in July at the Joint Security Area within the demilitarized zone. KCNA also reported that King confessed to illegally intruding into North Korean territory and that the investigation is still ongoing. Meanwhile, U.S. defense officials emphasized their primary focus is ensuring King's safe return. They also stated that they could not verify the reported statements but are working to bring King back through any available channel. King's mother, Claudine Gates, appealed for humane treatment for her son in Pyongyang and expressed her wish for a phone call from him, according to the family spokesperson. U.S. defense official publicly stated that King crossed into North Korea without authorization, and they have repeatedly sought updates from North Korea regarding King's condition but has not received a substantial response as of last week. While the Biden administration is considering whether to designate King as a prisoner of war, no final decision has been made and is currently classified as absent without leave. King was released from a South Korean detention facility just over a week before his border crossing, and he had also served 50 days of labor. It is also expected that he would face additional consequences from the U.S. Army for his actions in South Korea if he had returned as planned. Back to you, Elsie.
Thank you, Joselito Liquido reporting live from Malaysia. Nigeria is aiming to empower 20,000 Nigerian women and youth through a new Google initiative that will provide a grant of 1.2 billion naira or $1.6 million to help the country create 1 million digital jobs. Vice President Kashim Shettima said the initiative is aligned with the Nigerian government's commitment to harness the potential of the youth population and to increase their participation in the digital economy. The government is also working with the country's banks like Axis Bank, Wema Bank, and the Bank of Industry to train youths in digital skills and create employment opportunities, with Mr. Shettima adding that they are willing to work closely with Google as well. The Kaduna state government has also made an agreement with Google to train 5,000 women and girls in the fields of data science, artificial intelligence, and entrepreneurial applications of digital technologies. Google directors in Africa have expressed their commitment not only in providing digital skills to women and youth, but also to investing in digital infrastructure across the country, citing digital transformation as a job enabler. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Elsie Marcos, live from Auckland, New Zealand. Good evening.
As the budget briefing in the Senate continues, several senators urge the economic managers to make policy changes in response to the continuous maritime incursions of China in the West Philippine Sea. This report will tell us why.
Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa wants to augment the budget for the country's defense capabilities amid the illegal activities of Chinese Coast Guard in the West Philippine Sea, or WPS. In today's budget briefing on the proposed 2024 national budget, the lawmaker says if he were president, he will ask the economic managers to slash a percentage of the funding of other sectors with huge allocations such as social and public services.
Sabi ko sa'yo, hindi naman yan totally tanggalin. Bawasan mo lang ng kunti. Idagdag mo sa defense para makabili tayo ng barko na may malaking powerful na yung pump, malang water pump na pag binuhusan natin ng tubig ng China, ng Chinese ship, maka-respond tayo tubig sa tubig. Bakbakan natin sa tubig dito.
If you were the president, it can be done, but I will have to explain to you why it's difficult to do it.
Yes, sir.
Because a big part of our citizen right now is are the young, and we have to educate them, provide them health care, social protection, so we can develop them into a productive workforce. So yun po ang ating ace. We have a very young population.
Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman says the proposed defense budget for next year has been increased compared to this year to augment the funding for the modernization program of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The secretary notes they are trying to increase the budget for defense given the situation, but hopes that the concerned agencies will present complete budget proposals for proper planning. For his part, Senate President Juan Miguel Migzabiri urges the economic managers to ban Chinese contractors in the country in response to China's incursions into WPS. But Finance Secretary Benjamin Jokno says this would affect the implementation of foreign-funded projects and may cause delay in infrastructure projects.
Because of the huge list or the long list of infrastructure projects that we want to do, we're running out of workers in the Philippines, Your Honor. We're running out of work, plus also the private sector workers. And we need foreign workers, maybe Indian workers, Chinese workers.
Yeah, but Secretary, I mean, I think we all have to stand up for what's happening in the West Philippine Sea. You have to make a policy decision. Masyado tayong bilib sa China. Kausap po si Secretary Bautista. Ang sabi niya sa akin, palpak lahat ng Chinese contracts. Hindi natuloy. South Rail, they abandoned it.
The Senate leader maintains the Philippines should partner with other reputable and reliable countries as better options for the country. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
In other news, expelled Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Teves Jr.'s lawyer expressed strong displeasure over the former's expulsion as member of the lower house of Congress. Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, in a statement, said the proceedings before the House Committee on Ethics and Privileges are nothing but a kangaroo court. But from the start, it was allegedly an inquisition, and the committee was both the accuser and judge, and his client was never allowed in the proceedings. Topacio added it is a dark day for the rule of law, where the might is right and the prevailing principle is the law of force rather than the force of law. Voting 265 to 03, the House of Representatives voted to expel Teves Jr. It is the first time in the history of the lower chamber of Congress.
Only a few more sleeps and the new season of the UNTV League will begin. This is the UNTV Volleyball League, or UVL, the League of Exceptional Public Servants. Let's find out which teams are participating and who they have chosen to become their beneficiaries. Rina Villamor Camara reports.
Just a few more days to go, a new sporting league will be opened by UNTV. This is your UNTV Volleyball League, or UVL, the League of the Public Servants. After 10 years of UNTV sports through basketball, sports and charity will now open a new league for women's volleyball. Partnering here are 6 government agencies that will unite and work towards Kuya Daniel Razon's public service advocacy in helping other people. Joining this season are the AFP Lady Gunners, DFA Lady Emissaries, Judiciary Lady Servers, Ombudsman Graft Busters, PNP Lady Patrollers, and Senate Lady Defenders, who will showcase their volleyball skills in the hardcourt. In addition to providing fun and satisfaction to the audience, our public servants will also provide happy hearts to their chosen beneficiary. That includes the AFP Educational Benefit System Office, Ombudsman Employees Association, PNP Morale and Welfare Division, Cancer Warriors Foundation Incorporated, the DFA Member Retirees Unit, and the Senate Spouses Foundation. ₱1 million worth of help will be donated to the chosen beneficiaries for UVL's first season. Former PBA player and UNTV Cup analyst Coach Ronnie Magsanok will lead the league as UVL's tournament director.
Sa lahat po ng sumali sa unang execution ng UNTV Volleyball League, mula po sa Senado, sa DFA, sa Judiciary, sa Ombudsman, sa AFP at sa PNP, maraming pong salamat sa inyong pakikisa sa unang salang ng UVL o UNTV Volleyball League. Para naman po sa ating timbahay, samahan niyo po kami Thursdays and Sundays sa lahat po ng araw sa oras po mula 1:00, 3:00 at 5:00 sa tatlong mga laban. At sa bumubuo po ng UNTV Thank you for allowing us to grow another brand. Kay Kuya Daniel, kay Ma'am Arlene, para po sa inyo ito at sana po samahan nyo kami para itulak at pagandahin ang UVL or UNTV Volleyball League mula po sa August 20 hanggang po sa hinaharap. Maraming pong salamat sa inyong lahat.
Every match will be held every Thursday at the Paco Arena and every Sunday at the Marikina Sports Center. Cheer on for your favorite players and teams and don't miss out the start of the UNTV Volleyball League this coming Sunday, August 20, 2023 at the Phil Oil Arena in San Juan City at 1 p.m. Rina Villamor Camera, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our Kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 14, it says, "Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord." And those are the reasons behind the news, August 16, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Harleen Delgado.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people, we give glory to God.